Hello, my name is Brennan Granger, and this is my third weather briefing for July 7th and 8th. First, let's look at the current surface analysis chart for the country. There are a few low pressure systems on the west coast. We have one over Washington, Washington State, southwest Idaho, northern California, and the California-Arizona border. Moving east, there are a few low pressure systems over Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and northeastern North Dakota. There's a long stationary front starting in southeastern Utah, going through New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New York, and Massachusetts. Along that stationary front, there are low pressure systems over Kansas, Missouri, Michigan, and over some of the New England states. Lastly, there are high pressure systems over Georgia and Maine. Okay. Moving on to the high level significant prognostic chart. Looks like there are a few areas of isolated embedded thunderstorms at 45,000, 42,000, and 35,000 feet MSL. The first area looks like it covers the southern part of Arizona and New Mexico. Then the next area looks to be over the central United States, so about Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, and possibly a few others. The last area is off the east coast and is over many of the northeastern coastal states. Now we can take a look at the infrared chart here. We can see the long line of clouds starting in Utah going across the United States. Those are all the clouds and storms along the stationary front that we saw earlier. We can slightly see the general temperatures of the clouds, but the colored infrared is better for that, so let's take a look. On the colored infrared chart, we can see the colder clouds over Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and northern Kentucky. Since those are the coldest, we can determine that those are obviously the highest along the stationary front. So yeah, it's a little bit easier to see than the black and white infrared. This is the visible light chart. Just shows the clouds by what the light is being reflected off of it. Just basically shows the last two charts, but with no heights on those clouds or temperatures. This is going to be the radar showing the worst storms being over Ohio and New York and parts of Pennsylvania. There are also a few storms in southwestern Texas, and nothing more significant than that. Here are the convective sigments for the United States. The current sigments are in red with the outlooks in yellow. There are a few big areas in most of Kentucky and Tennessee, and also Florida, Louisiana, and Mississippi. The convective outlook shows a slight here we're going to go to that. Okay, the convective outlook here shows a slight chance in the areas where the storms were and a large marginal area along the stationary front. Okay, now let's look at some pi reps. There's not too many pi reps in the north or the west, so we're just going to move east, northeast here. Nothing severe, only a few cases of light to moderate turbulence and icing. Nothing too bad that really catches the eye. There's a few more cases in Wisconsin, Iowa, and Ohio. Okay, this is the freezing level chart. Looks like most of the United States is going to be between 15 and 17,000, and the northernmost parts at 13 to 15,000 MSL, and then possibly 11 to 13 very northern North Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan. Okay, here is the current local weather. It looks like a high of 68, or excuse me, high of 68, low of 52, with winds from the east and VFR conditions. No PIREPs anywhere close, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Most of them are in Iowa and Wisconsin, like we discussed earlier. We can look at the base reflectivity of the area. It's also low, about anywhere from 5 to, I'd say, 20 dBz or so, decibels. So yeah, the weather looks pretty good. Now let's move on to the national forecast. This is going to be the convection chart showing the eddy dissipation rate. It looks pretty low. Not much really happening in North Dakota where we are. Grand Forks area. And ice. The icing chart, or the forecast here, is showing moderate to heavy icing over Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado, also on some of the upper East Coast states. To the forecast for the high-level prognostic chart. It's not showing much change except for the height changes in 2 of the embedded thunderstorms. They just move up a couple thousand feet, if that. And then maybe some wind changes in the jet stream there. The forecasted freezing level, nothing expected to change on that. It's going to be the same. And the local forecast. Winds are going to shift up north just slightly, stay the same speed, and yeah, same for, and we can see that the winds are 30 knots out of the north-northwest at 18,000 feet. Those are both 12-hour forecasts for those. Well, that's all I have for the third weather briefing. Thank you.